We all seek a home in this world. A place where we can feel secure. The language we use is geographic. But home is not, in fact, a physical environment as so much as it is an emotional one. For most of us, this means home is really the people that we have surrounded ourselves with. We are at heart social creatures, and our fulfillment comes not from within, but from without. Precarious safety indeed. But if we make our home in the hearts of others, then it's up to them how long we're allowed to stay. You think you're special. You think you're somehow necessary. But you're not. You can be replaced. The only person that you can really count on, the only person who'll stick by you no matter what happens, is you. Humankind, by its very nature, is capable of evil beyond imagination. And yet we delude ourselves into thinking that somehow each of us is the exception to the rule. I would not, could not ever do such a thing, we say smugly to ourselves. But we lie. The question is not whether we are capable of evil. Of course we are. It is our nature. The question is only what circumstances will turn that capability into action. You would never molest a child. Perhaps that's true. But what, I ask you, would you do to the person that molested yours? You can kill, you can betray, you can utterly destroy anything and anyone. You can give yourself over completely to your darkest passions, but passions fade. The consequences, however, those you have to carry with you for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. A man's home is his castle, especially mine. But what is safety, really? How bright do the lights have to be to vanquish the darkness? How thick are the walls that will make you feel safe? Not thick enough, I wager. Not thick enough by half. What is good? What is evil? For some, the Inquisitor does God's work. For others, he's the devil's truest disciple. Actions are amoral in and of themselves. It's not the what, but the why. The how that shades a thing with goodness or with ill. It is simply a question of context. The highest spiritual plane available to humankind is not grace, nor peace, nor satisfaction. It is, of course, love, emotional symbiosis. Our greatest achievement. To bask in a warm glow of adoration, to love and be loved in return. Easier said than done, for to accept love, one must accept oneself. And if you find yourself incapable of accepting love, then love cannot heal you. It cannot even find you. You must find it. Some people cannot cope with their present state of being, turn and flee. Others don't run, they explore. Now, the two may appear similar, but the journey is far from the same. For you can run to any country in the world or beyond, and you will find nothing new, nothing changed. You'll make no discoveries. For the only undiscovered country left to explore is inside you. We build walls to keep things out, to protect ourselves. Marriage is one of those walls, if it works. A barrier between us and them. A beautiful facade to be admired or feared. But a wall works both ways. It doesn't just keep things out, it also keeps things in. If you want to turn a palace into a prison, all you have to do is lock the doors. Blissful solitude, just the two of them. Perfect. Bound together forever and ever. Lucky them. You lock it away inside, you bury it. Just because you're not looking at it, not thinking about it, pretending it doesn't exist. That doesn't mean that it doesn't change. It doesn't grow inside you. It doesn't fester and breed. Until it pollutes you completely. And all that's left of the love that you began with is the hate. Human beings, with a few notable exceptions, tend to believe in a concept of good. For some reason, we seem to need the assurance that there's a purpose to our existence, an underlying rightness. For some people, this need is overwhelming. A calling or a vocation, or simply an enormous sympathy for our fellow beings. And if our faith is strong, we will find signs of goodness all around us, even if it's not. If you do believe in good, and if you need to find it to prove its existence, then just look around you. It's everywhere. Seek and you shall find, but never forget, if you accept the existence of good, you will encounter evil. So many people are fascinated by what is real. By the horrible, naked truth. I, on the other hand, have always been far more fascinated by the artificial. Reality exists independently of us. There's no need of human beings, one way or another. But art, by its very definition, must be created. We live in a modern age. On the cutting edge, if you like. We're obsessed by the modern, so proud of this ever-changing world. But the world doesn't change, not really. The facade may be new. But what's inside us? What we really are, that remains the same. Some people, a very unlucky few, find themselves victims of the worst disease of them all. Emptiness. They suffer from a sort of emotional paralysis, a sheer inability to care. Without passion, we are truly lost. Any feeling is better than none at all. Pain, jealousy, rage, anything that gets the blood racing and the heart pumping, anything that will really thrill you must be sought out. After all, you only live once. search for passion, feeling, love. It'll get you every time. Nature, we are told, is a gentle and pastoral thing. A paradise corrupted only by man's reckless and violent presence. Nature is a cruel master, or at least an absent one. Morality is of our own creation. The only right that we have in nature is the right to kill. Most people make the mistake of looking for good, for truth, for justice. Well, justice doesn't come into it. It's not the kindest who survive, or the most deserving, or the most innocent. It's without exception the ruthless who thrive. All creatures, great and small, God loves them. Not at all. From earliest times, artists of all sorts have tried to leave their mark on the world. After all, art without an audience is nothing more than masturbation. A self-gratifying act, but ultimately unfulfilling. If you wish to affect the world, you must submit yourself to its judgment. Without an audience, your genius dies with you, unconsummated. Onan's seed spilled on barren ground. Even if it's only one person, you must find someone to show your creation to. Unless, of course, that someone finds you first. Is there any notion more attractive than immortality? Why else do we build monuments, have children? So that they will live on after us. There is no need more primal than the need to create. Once begun, you find you care about nothing else. Not your friends, your lovers, not even yourself. Everything you have is focused into the work. And therein lies the real danger of creation. If you're putting too much of yourself, you may have nothing left. So many choices in the world. And that is, in the end, what we seek, isn't it? What is the use of wealth or power or beauty if not to provide us with choices? It is the very definition of freedom. But the potential of choice is not the choice itself. In fact, the more options one has, the harder it is to choose just one. Choose just one. We're flawed, we humans. We were built with the faulty contentment switch. Just when that comfortable state of bliss is supposed to kick into permanent overdrive, we decide we want something else. Something more. Something different. Whatever we're given, whatever we take, it's never quite enough, is it? It could always be just that bit better.